Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome back to The Lift with your auntie Sheila. Sheila Robinson-Kiss is in the house. As always, I've got your back. I want to thank all of you. The channel is on fire, growing by leaps and bounds. That's because of all of you. You're sharing, word is catching on. This is fantastic. So needless to say, if you're loving what I'm doing, please don't be greedy. Don't keep all this yummy information to yourself. Hit that share button, hit the like, subscribe button, pass it on along to friends and family who could use the lift as well. So again, thank you so much for your support. We're going to dive right into the topic today. This is inspired by Ryan. As you can see, I'm back on the road. I am in Germany right now recording. So wie geht's to all my friends in Germany. And when these letters come through, even if I'm out here hustling and working on the road, there are times I'll receive a note and I feel like I need to stop, even though I'm not back at the home studio. So we're just going to get right into this. Falling down, what happens? What happens, my friends, when you don't get up? When you make the decision not to get up? Let's dive into Ryan's note. Dear Sheila, I'm overwhelmed and burned out for no particular reason, but for a million reasons at the same time. I'm in a spot. I've been here before, about 8 years ago. Here's the long and short of it. I'm in two relationships. It's a bit complicated. And both of these relationships mean more to me than it does to them. They know it, and so do I. Work is a grind. My work day is 8 hours. I'm lucky if I clear 30 minutes of productivity. I get up and start my day because my dog demands a pee break and a walk. I don't think I'm depressed. I generally feel myself losing interest in most things and people. I generally feel myself losing interest in most things and most people. I was fine in my apartment last weekend, all weekend, with no contact. The way the world is starting to bother me. And by the way, I'm gaining weight. I should add that the only thing that really lifts me is my meal prep. I do like cooking for myself. I just feel like I'm moving further and further away from it all. I'm not interested in therapy, but I like your channel and I thought I'd run this past you. What do you think is going on with me, Ryan? Okay, Ryan. Well, thank you so much. You've reached out to the right person. I can relate with what you're saying. Although I'm a trained therapist, I am a lover and a firm believer in self-help, self-health tools. This is why I created the channel. So I understand what you say. You're not interested in therapy formally, but there's so much you can do for yourself. I'm going to give you some concrete tips and strategies in just a moment. I'm going to tell you based on your note exactly what I think is going on. But first of all, I want to connect everyone to one thing. I'm going to answer the question that was in the title. Okay, falling down. What happens when you don't get back up? I think everyone should be very clear. What happens is this: life goes on and it goes on without you. Now, that may seem harsh, but hang with me to the end of the program. What do I mean by that? It's very self-explanatory. People make choices every single day. It's a choice. How you wake up, a decision. How am I going to hold my life today? Hold it up, hold it together. Put in simpler terms, how am I going to do the doggone thing, if you will? How do I choose to maneuver? And let's keep it real. We're all going to hit things. Life runs in cycles. And some of those cycles, when we step back, are very predictable. And there are times, we hit that, we're on those highs, things are going great in life. There are times when we dip. And then there are times when, I'm somewhere in between. What I want to connect everyone to before I get into 4 strategies during this program is your life and the decisions that you make, how you are talking to yourself. You've heard me say this again and again. We don't respond to what is happening. We respond to what we tell ourselves is happening. That is going to dictate the quality of your life. So above all else, what I'm hoping that these strategies, and by the way, there's about 700 videos here for you to dive into, and every single one of them has a common theme, and that is the power of cultivating your mind. Okay, strategy number 1 for Ryan and for everyone else. Ryan, by the way, I don't necessarily think that you are on a downward slope or depression. I agree with what you're saying. Sometimes the natural cycles of life can make us feel like we are falling down. And that can look different for everyone. So, the first thing I want you to think about, and you're going to want to get, as always, when you're watching my videos, it's nice to have a pen and a pad of paper handy so you can really catch the high points. Number 1, Ryan, I want you to be intentional. And what I'm going to say, it sounds a little counterintuitive at first, but I want you to be absolutely intentional about where you are at this point in time. What does that mean? Give it a name. Give it a name. Get yourself out of this kind of, oh, I'm not sure what's happening to me. When you let yourself kind of stay in that middle malingering area, what happens? You are set adrift emotionally. You start to feel lost, disoriented, and confused. That is what opens the gate to falling down. That is what opens the gate to depression. So when I say be intentional about it, sit down with yourself and say, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm pulling back. There are cycles in life where we just need to pull back, regroup, take a deep breath, and really do some realignment adjusting. Sometimes it's just a matter of, oh, things have been so busy. I need to rest my soul. Sometimes it's a matter of, you know what, I just need to get into a couple things on a daily basis that will ground me. But what you don't want to do is wake up and just say, oh, I really don't know how I'm feeling. I'm not sure which way things are going to go, because then you become exactly like a ship with no rudder. I'll go further into it with an example. So, Ryan, it's one thing. It's one thing to say, you know what? Feeling a little bit out of it at work. I've got these 2 relationships that are going on. I'm not feeling so good about those. My energy is not where I want it to be. I accept that. I own that. And because of that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to focus on my dog. I'm going to focus on my meal prep right now. I'm just going to pull back with great intention. That's one thing. It's another thing to go through your days. Oh, I just don't know how I'm feeling or what I'm feeling. When you walk through life with intention, everything is based on truth and intention. Even if you're in a bit of a funk, even if you're in a life cycle that's asking you to isolate and pull back a little bit, you're going to raise your life vibration when you merge that with intention. It's a natural form. It's a natural form of direction, my friend. I myself, if you're subscribed to the channel, I'm in that process right now of just regrouping with everything going on in the world. I'm needing to pull back. But again, I don't play any games with myself. I've given that a name. That's exactly what it is. Taking this time through the holidays, regroup, ground, then move on. So that's strategy number 1. Get out of that kind of middle, I'm floating, because that's where you open the gates to a lot of things and emotions that are unwelcome. Get intentional about where you're at. Okay, number two, you heard me say this in a video a couple weeks ago. Nothing wrong with pulling back. Nothing at all. My friends, trust me when I say this. Set a time limit. Set, like with again, we're going back to intention. So for myself, I'm giving myself really a few months just to reset, get my stride, raise those vibrations. You want to go into this with a time limit because, quite frankly, I've seen people, go into valley moments, natural, life cycle transitions. What really could have been a week, 2 weeks, 3 months of, very focused, getting myself back on track, not necessarily feeling that clip of energy or strength. It could have been a shorter period of time, turns into 6 months, a year and a half. So again, I love the idea, and you have to set your time limits on it. But I love the idea of getting out your journal and, getting quiet with the self. Let me just look at this for a few months. And then what I'm going to do is check back in with myself. So, Ryan, as you set this time limit, let's just say you say, you know what, I just really want to focus on me for a month or so. Once you set that time limit, in as much as you can, try and be respectful of it. I'll tell you why. What happens when you turn a focus on yourself, and be clear, we need to do that sometimes to recharge. But when it goes on too long without any intention behind it, without any definition, what you start to do is, I call it folding in on yourself. It becomes such a focus on the self that it puts you in a combination of an almost narcissistic slash depressed state, because that we're built for connection. That's why I say time limits, and then figure out, how am I going to ease back into the game, if you will. And you'll notice that people who are selfish, manipulative, people who are very self-involved and self-focused, that's their natural disposition, or they let these moods take hold for a long time, you will notice that quite naturally their energy carries a lower vibration. There's a lot of complaining that happens. There's a lot of turning away from society, friends, family. It almost becomes a way that we cannibalize ourselves. I think that connection, when we are taking a very focused energy, I want to ask myself, where can I connect and be of service? Where can I connect and lift up the lives of others? Where can I connect and make life better for myself, my community? That's an entirely different vibration than it's, me, my healing, my focus. We do that to the extent that we need to regenerate and ground ourselves. Because for me, time away and time apart, that time is very regenerating. So I can come back into service for all of you. That time is spent in reflection. If I need to take care of some business spiritually, what have you, that's what I'm doing. But it's all for the sake of staying balanced. So I would really caution against, taking care of yourself in indefinite, isolated states. It's not a good thing. I've made a lot of videos about the power of connection in the end cap. I'll put some of those, check those out after you watch this. Third, this is really important. This topic of falling down, losing our footing, reminds me of a movie, Michael Douglas. Title of the movie is actually Falling Down. And this man, Michael Douglas's character, just became so laser focused on getting revenge. He became disoriented. It was a me focus, and he just lost his entire compass of life. So I invite you, strategy number 3 is find a few North Stars. What do I mean by that? Find something. I'm going to tell you what I do in a second. Find something that every day shifts your focus into an elevated and positive direction. Let me tell you, with everything that's going on in the world, we're going to need that now more than ever. I can't tell you how many calls that I've fielded, how many, letters come through. I just feel like I'm losing hope. I feel like the bottom is dropping out. You can entertain that vibration if you like. And I'll tell you, if you go 5 steps into the future, ask yourself, where is it going to get me? You are going to be bottomed out. You're going to be in a hole, in a tank, in a very short period of time. All you need to do is stop and think it through. That's what negativity does. So I'll tell you my North Star activities every day. Number one, and combined, they take me about 5 or 10 minutes. Number one, the top of the day, I find something, and I'm never at a loss for this, nor will you be, something to be grateful for. We hear this so often and it just kind of feels like wallpaper. It fades into the back. No, make it real. You sit and you truly find something to be grateful for. I keep my journals. They are on my phone. I also have hard copy journals that I keep. And one of the journals is solely focused on, I call it my miracles journal. Online every day I find some miracle to celebrate. So it's one thing to be grateful for, and a miracle to celebrate. Miracles are all around us, all around us. Look right here, the miracle of water, the miracle of the sun coming up, the miracle that I can get this message to you through this medium of YouTube, through this medium that's been created, audio, all of that. These miracles are designed to take us outside of ourselves and get us connected to something bigger, larger, greater than we are. That is the energy that is here to support us. But you have to take the time to connect to it. Again, I will say, everything, the narrative, the storyline you tell yourself, that's what you're going to live out, my friends. Number 4, and this is really key. I want you to keep this in mind. The question to ask yourself on a daily basis, and I love questions because questions in so many ways demand answers. This channel is, I give you the practical, I give you the clinical, I give you the spiritual, I give it to you from multiple perspectives. And I try very hard not to leave anything out. So this is a key question. At the end of the day, and when I say end of the day, end of our sojourn, end of our life, I'm a firm believer that some questions are going to need to be answered. Well, Sheila, who are we answering to? First and foremost, I think that we're going to need to answer to ourselves. The ultimate authority certainly is the Lord. That is my opinion. But I think we're going to have to stand and look into life's mirror, if you will, and ask yourself, with the time that I was given, the allotment of time, what did I do with it? How did I use it? The resources that were given to me, how did I apply those to make my life better, to make the lives of others better? I firmly believe that if you keep that question on a consistent basis in the forefront of your mind and the forefront of your life, it is an absolute motivator. And, I didn't just fall off the turnip truck. I fully realize that there are people out here who are not doing their work. They can give us a run for our money. There are curveballs and unexpected things that happen. I fully realize that. And what I would say to you, my friends, there is nothing that you cannot conquer, overcome, heal from, knock the ball out of the park, if you are staying in alignment, if you are using tools, and if you are flexing and growing and working those muscles of resilience, those spiritual muscles, they pay you back again and again. So I want to really bring this message full circle to everyone. Falling down, falling down, feeling out of sorts, feeling disoriented. What happens to a life when you decide not to get up? What happens to a life? Life is going to soldier on. It's going to move on without you. What happens to your life? You miss out on the very best of who you are. We also came to this life to experience our glory and splendor. Yes, you are here to experience that. But when you sit down and give up, you miss out on all of that. And then, perhaps most profound is this world, this world and the community that you're a part of misses out on your lifted vibration. Every single thing that you do has an impact. A smile has an impact. A text message when a friend is down has an impact. How you engage with your family has an impact. How you spend time with your pets has an impact. How you show up in this world. So whether we like it or not, somehow with the way the world is going, say, well, Sheila, is it right that we're all connected? We are all connected. So when you fall down and decide not to get back up, I'm talking about the global vibration misses you. We can't have that. We cannot have that at this stage in our collective evolution. We truly need all hands on deck. Everyone is in a little corner pocket of life. You are required wherever you are. This is my core belief. You are required to mind your mental health, keep your life lifted so that in your corner of the world, that's where your assignment is, that you can do your work to the fullest. This channel, all of you, you are part of my corner of the world. You're part of my assignment. I can't be down here. Yeah, I can dip, but I have to take care of myself and get right back to it. We can't have that. I rely on all of you. Beautiful channel. You're looking for the messages. So you see, there's a synthesis that goes to all of this. You're a part of it. Your job is to stay grounded, do the work. We all fall down, my friends. And guess what? That's why I call this the lift. We get right back up. Folks, it's late here in Germany. I need to get something to eat. Again, if you're loving what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back. I'm dropping videos every Sunday unless something wacky happens with Traveler. So please, again, don't forget to hit that subscribe, thumbs up button, drop me a note. Let me know what you do when you fall down. How do you stay lifted? I'll be back real soon with some more delicious content. Bye-bye.